on you guys' comments, right? So hit the love button, share and like and comment, all right? So we're talking about what's our biggest challenge right now, like right now, like what's holding up your like process, your prosperity, your money, what's holding up your bag? You know what I'm saying? Like when you trying to get that bag, what is stopping you from getting your bag right now? That's what we talking about right now. What's stopping you from getting your bag, all right? And your money bag, picking up your money bag and making these deposits real quick. So Jeffrey says, he put the first comment in here. So, hey, Jeffrey, how you doing? Jeffrey says, staying on track. You know what? That's a big one, seriously, because even I have challenges with that as well, too, staying on track, which is basically like accountability, isn't it? Right? I don't know if you mean accountability for yourself or if you're referring to just like organization, you know, because sometimes we take on so many different things, so many different tasks, so many different projects all the time. And each of those projects are completed at like different percentages, right? So we have a whole lot of stuff going at the same time, like simultaneously, but none of them are finished or complete 100%. So it's almost like you didn't do anything at all because like nothing's done, you know? So if you're referring to accountability, one of the things that I do, I have seriously, like a gazillion accountability partners. I think I'm up to like 5. Like seriously, like I have 5 different like conference calls, whether it's like a video chat or just a quick check-in on the phone every single week, right? So I have like accountability partners. We're not even in the same time zone, all right? They are committed to this process. So I have accountability partners in like California, you know, on the West Coast, I mean, in New York, all over the place. And, you know, we find the time, whether it's 5 a.m. check-in, 6 a.m. check-in, that's just the commitment of it. And they ask questions. They're like, what you doing? They really do. They be like, so what's your plan? And then they don't forget anything that you tell them either. So you need like really, really good people like that in your life, where if you say to them, I'm going to do this thing here, and this is what I'm going to work on this week. Next week, they're going to ask you and want you to show evidence of a completion of the task, right? So that's pretty dope. So that would be my advice to you when you, if you're having challenges staying on track, either, you know, get an accountability partner or reduce the amount of tasks that you're doing and just choose 1 or 2 that are specific to your intentions, like your overall end state goal, what you want to do, and only focus on those 2 things until it's completed in its entirety before you take on another project or start anything else. Navigator says more. More what? More what? More people? More what? What? More what? I need you to finish the sentence so we could talk about it a little bit more. And I'll be able to, you know, I don't know, shed some Jackie-isms, I guess. Got any questions? Got any advice? Anything like that? The title of this particular live is, what is your biggest challenge right now? So if you have a business, I know a lot of business owners right now, it's February. We've already gone, 30 plus days into 2019. And we had, you know, really aggressive goals. Are you on track for meeting your goals? Are you, you know, did you meet your goals that you had for yourself in January, you know, or do you have to like make up your goals or that deficiency like moving forward, you know, because the larger that gap becomes, the more challenging sometimes it is to make up for months where productivity was low, right? So if you are a business owner, what are the challenges that you're having right now? You know, for me in the real estate investing industry, a lot of my colleagues, they're talking about leads, right? Everyone's talking about leads. where am I getting leads from? Who am I talking to? Like, what kind of marketing strategy are you doing? And is it producing the same results as it was doing before? You know, so we're doing a lot of like comparative analysis to see, you know, what the conversion rate is based on our previous marketing strategy, whether it be inbound or outbound marketing, and what is like the response rate. And then out of that response rate, what is the conversion rate? And out of the conversion rate, what is the closing rate, right? So we're all having these types of conversations to see if anything is changing, because the market is definitely evolving. So as the market evolves, our strategies for marketing and lead generation also has to evolve as well too. So I'm pretty sure that's probably similar in other industries as well. So if you work in a different industry, whether it's insurance or cars or, I don't know, banking, or you're selling jewelry or whatever you're doing, maybe you have an e-commerce store or whatever it is that you do to generate income for yourself, or, you know, you work for an organization and your specific position requires you to have sales, or it's an administrative management position, like whatever your role is, what is your biggest challenge at this time? Let's talk about it. Let's help each other out, right? Because every time when you come together and have a meeting of the minds and have like a real true mastermind where people are willing to actually like give you resources and share ideas, sometimes that's where the breakthrough is, truly. You know, the most successful people in this world, all, you know, the people that we look up to, they all are part of mastermind groups in some capacity. So it only makes sense that you should be part of one as well too. So this is your opportunity to join right now, live right here on Facebook, and have someone of interest answer your questions, right? So let's see what else we got going on here. I want to give some shout outs to everyone. So thank you very much. Let me get those love, like, shares going on here. I love to see when you guys are commenting and adding new stuff to the chat and interacting. So please engage, all right? I'm right here. So here we go. Let's start from the beginning. So I got Joseph, I got Navigators, Jeffrey, Tamika's on, Ebony's on, Arkama's on. Hopefully I said that correctly. Charnay is on. You guys got to check out Charnay in the car with Shay. She got a new podcast out. She's pretty dope. Make sure you drop the link, Shay, in the comments here so people could check out your podcast. She just interviewed me last week, and it's really awesome. I got Ismail. Thank you, Ismail. I like that. That's a cool name. Dr. Robert King, Assisted Living Facility University, shouting him out. He's a dope real estate investor. Did I say dope? I said dope. I took it way back to the 80s. Dope. Real estate investor, showing people and teaching people how to maximize the largest cash flow possible on the one roof for a single family residential home. That's Dr. King right there. You guys better get up on it. All right, I got Stan Flo, Shardae's in the building, Jackson Smith is in the building, Anthony, Natalie, and Van J. I think that's how you may say that. All right, cool. So let's go back here. I have a few people that asked some questions. Jeffrey says all of the above. You can't have that many problems, Jeffrey. Tighten up. That's what a mastermind is going to do too. We don't coddle anything. All right. So you better be ready. All right. So Navigator says more consistency. Okay. Well, you know what? If you're having challenges with consistency, a lot of times that's a direct indication that you may not know what you want. So if you find yourself like starting multiple different things all the time, like something else over here piques your interest, something else over here, it may be time for you really to sit down and truly be honest with yourself and identify what is it that you really, really want. Because once you have a specific vision and you have a specific end state, like, you know, however far it is, it doesn't matter. That automatically is going to eliminate all of the other things in your life that doesn't align with that vision, right? So the Bible says, my good book says, without vision, the people will perish, right? So if you don't have a vision statement for your life and for your family, then that it's easy to get like distracted and to like just get involved in a whole bunch of things that may not really serve you or move you forward. So I would probably say sit down, write a vision, be honest with yourself, and don't write a vision statement based on your current circumstances and what you actually see. Write a vision statement based on truly what you want, regardless of what your circumstances or your situation is. All right. All of that other stuff that's happening around you, surrounding you, is irrelevant. Write it from your heart and what you want. And then you would find that your environment begins to manifest all the stuff that you want for your vision based on when you get clarity. So that would help with consistency as well too. All right, let's see what else is going on here. So Joseph says, my biggest challenge, getting a bank to loan me $1 million. Bruh, me and you got the same challenge. For real. But you know what? It takes, I think it takes, you have to build up to certain things like that, right? So I have a lot of friends that, a lot of business partners that focus on business credit, like business lines of credit. So one of our sponsors right now for the Cash Flow Your Life 3-day boot camp and bus tour is K&B Bookkeeping Services from Miss Regina Buckley, right? So Regina's our sponsor for that, and Regina gets people money, all right? So if you need the hookup, Joseph, and you need some money and you need some business lines of credit, Regina got your back. So I'll drop her link in there. She's one of our sponsors, and she's really, really good. So in the past, I have used companies similar to Regina where I have, gotten business lines of credit. I had built my business lines of credit up to like $250,000 at one time, so it's definitely possible to get that. So you just have to do it like in like iterations, like in levels, to get somebody to give you $1 million like all at once is possible, of course, but most likely you have to do it in phases. And then now you got this huge line of credit that you could go do cool stuff with. All right, cool. So let's see what else going on here. What's the best leads you use? Okay, Jeffrey says, you know what, Jeffrey? It's not so much like the best leads. Like everyone always asks me that question. Like someone asked me that question like earlier on today while I was at Super Walmart trying to hunt down a lockbox, right? For one of the properties I have on the contract over in West Orlando. It's a rent to own lease option property, and I had to put like the lockbox on the door. Anyway, so the best leads, I believe, are leads that you are able to actually like convert, you know what I mean? Leads that you're actually able to communicate effectively with. It's actually the conversation, I believe, that determines like the best lead. Like, I don't think that there's any leads that are technically like bad. It's, you have to take some kind of like, some ownership, right, in your process and how you actually communicate with the lead, as well as how you move the lead through the different phases of your relationship and your rapport building, right? So, I mean, you can start out, I tell people to start out with like at least 2 and exhaust those 2 different types before you dismiss them and say, okay, this doesn't work for me. So in my course, which is Wholesale Rockstars, I teach my clients, I gave them like 21 different types of lead types, right? And all of them can be acquired through public records in your county's public records, where you don't necessarily have to pay like any list building source to get that for you. Obviously, the list building sources is, adds a different level of convenience for you. But if I would have to say what converted for me the most, I would say it would be absentee owners, people who do not, and this is for real estate investors. So hopefully you're asking me about real estate investing, and you're not asking me like, what's the best way to get leads for like, cars or something? I don't know. But anyway, so for real estate investing, what I personally do, I have absentee owners, right? And I will actually select both in-state and out-of-state, right? So regardless if the person lives within the state, the owner, or they live outside of the state, I will still market to them. And an absentee owner is basically just a person that has ownership interest in a property that's not considered their primary residence. So for example, I could be considered an absentee owner because I own property in the same county that I live, but I would be an absentee owner in state. You know what I mean? I still live here. I don't live very far away, anyway. So another caveat that I add to that criteria is I also add the age criteria too. So the age criteria for me is the age of the owner. So I also add like a little zigzag, criteria that says, okay, absentee owners in state, out of state that are age 55 and older. And then I'm also looking for properties that have a certain amount of equity in them as well too. So if you're going to market to low equity homes that don't have a lot of equity, a lot of room in them, then that kind of strategy is going to be like, that's like an option strategy, or maybe you're planning on taking over mortgage payments or something like that. But if you're looking for absentee owners in state, out of state, that have a lot of equity, then obviously I think you're probably looking for maybe owner financing, or maybe even wholesaling. Those would be the strategies that kind of fit those types of deals. So hopefully that answers your question there too. So Stan Flo says, hey there, balancing 2 businesses by myself and meet all my client needs is my biggest challenge. Well, hats off to you, number one, for having 2 different businesses, right? I think that's pretty dope, Stan. That's awesome. If you're having 2 businesses, you can't be in 2 places at once, obviously, right? That's the reason why you're asking this question. But one of the challenges that I had too was balancing work-life balance and family and stuff. I don't have 2 businesses, but I do multiple things. So what I did is I employed the assistance and help of virtual assistants, right? So for the tasks that I could delegate as well as automate in my business, those were the things that I created systems for, so that I could free up more of my time, so that I would only focus on the most valuable tasks in my business, which is speaking to my clients. Hopefully that helps. So some of the places that you can go for delegation, pass some stuff off to people who actually like doing that kind of stuff. I love Fiverr. You can pretty much find anybody on Fiverr to do anything for you. I also do Upwork, Upwork.com. That's another great place for you to find virtual assistants there too. And there's a whole bunch of different places that you can go to for virtual assistants. All you got to do is just Google virtual assistants or something like that. And then you have virtual assistants for pretty much any type of business service, whether it's a graphic designer, a website, a webmaster, or someone who's going to do, sales calls for you, outbound sales calls, inbound sales calls for you. If they're going to be your personal assistant, if they're going to even virtually mail out things for you, anything, anything, you can pretty much find somebody to help you to do that, right? Craigslist too. If you wanted to post an ad on Craigslist and get a virtual assistant to help you there too. So Sharnae, thanks for posting your link. Thank you very much. Dave, speak sister. Well, speak brother. Thanks Dave for joining. I appreciate you. Naomi, Julian, Ashley, Aiken. Aiken says, good to see you again, Jackie. It's awesome seeing you as well too. All right. I'm glad you were able to join us. All right. So Jeffrey says, all I do is real estate. I'm a wholesaler. Well, pretty dope. I'm glad. Let's connect. That's pretty awesome. All right. And Stan Flo says, thanks a lot. That's pretty dope. All right. Well, anyone else? I ran out of questions. You guys don't have anything else going on here? Jeffrey says he's a wholesaler. So for those who may or may not be familiar with that term, wholesaling is a real estate investing strategy where you actually buy low and sell low. How cool is that, right? It's a buy low, sell low strategy that doesn't require any of your cash, any of your credit or bank financing at all in order to be profitable. And what I love most about wholesaling is that you technically never buy the house. which is pretty awesome. Making money in real estate and never actually owning anything, right? So what wholesalers do is they will contract on a property and then they will assign and sell essentially their contractual interest, right? Their interest in that contract to someone else, right? And that someone else is normally like another investor that likes to renovate properties, or maybe it's a landlord, somebody who likes to hold on to properties for a really long time. So there's all kinds of different types of investors. So wholesalers, they spend a lot of time building their buyers list. And, you know, to be honest with you, to be a successful wholesaler, you really don't even need a big buyers list. You just need some really good people that you understand and know what their buying criteria is. And basically, you only market to go find properties that they like to buy, right? So why even like stress yourself out? Just go buy the things that they like. And that's it. You got like a built-in customer for life, right? So you got that whole customer appreciation thing going on, right? So you really don't need this big old list or anything like that. So that's what I love. I think wholesalers are pretty dope. But the key to being a successful wholesaler is accurately determining like the value of the property, like the future value of the property once it's already fixed up. That's called the after repair value. And then the second component for being a successful wholesaler is actually determining the correct value for the total amount of repairs for that property, right? So, you know, the wholesalers, at least I can always tell when a wholesaler is new, because they overvalue the property and then they undervalue the repairs, right? So I'm like, nah, your math is off. Let's talk about it though and see how we could fix it together. So I usually end up just educating them and showing them how to do it the right way, which is what we plan to do as well in our 3-day boot camp and VIP bus tour, February 22nd. 23rd and 24th here in Orlando. So you guys should come. You guys should totally come. All right. Joe Jackson and Melita also joined. For you guys that just joined us, we are talking about what is your biggest challenge in your business right now. And if you don't own a business, what's your biggest challenge in your current, you know, work life right now? What's in your occupation? What are you doing with yourself? We're actually having an online mastermind where we are asking each other questions live right here and actually just brainstorming together how we could fix it, sharing resources, at least any resources that I know. I'm going to openly share it with you guys because I want you all to be totally successful in everything that you do. Why not be successful? That's what we're supposed to be. No need to like hold information back. If you have it, just share it. There's too much wealth in this world right now, forever actually, that it only makes sense to share and to pay it forward, to be a blessing to somebody else. So is there any more questions going on here? Let's see what else we got going on here. Jeffrey still says, let me see. What else is happening? Anything like that. Okay. All right. Well, some of the, let me think about a challenge that I currently have in my business. So I'm writing a book right now, which is pretty dope. I'm really excited about it. I'm writing a book and it's the first time that I'm writing a book. So that's really interesting, that whole process of like writing down your thoughts and writing them down in a way that actually makes sense to somebody else. It may make sense to you. Have you ever wrote something down and you tried to go back and read it and you were like, what was I thinking? Or what was I trying to say, right? So it's really interesting to go through that process. So hats off to all the authors that are out there right now and they're writing their books and they have a lot of experience doing it. It's a pretty big deal. But as I go through the process and learn all the different stages of writing, I realize that, hey, I can do this, right? So I think that sometimes we approach new endeavors with a mindset of, wow, this is going to be like this huge undertaking. But nevertheless, it's important to just move past that and actually just take one step towards it. Because once you begin to take steps towards your goal, then you find that, oh my gosh, I'm a little bit closer, right? So that would be my biggest advice right now to anybody that's taken on anything new or something that's kind of like outside of their wheelhouse, something they've never done before in 2019. That's pretty amazing. So I love that. As a matter of fact, I actually created a vision board for my book. And as you can see, I have a lot of vision boards, but what I do is in order for me to visualize all of the thoughts that are in my mind, and this would be a great tip for you guys too, anyone who's having challenges in their business, I have to visualize every aspect of what I want to do. So some people do a vision board where it's like they have like all of their goals on one board and everything's like on there all at the same time, which to me is okay. It's great if that's how you do it, but my mind can't function that way. It's still very like complicated. So I take like one concept at a time and then just make like one vision board. I hope that helps you guys. So say, for example, you have your sales goals, right? So I'm going to move over a little bit, maybe. Okay. So I have my sales goals. So what I've done is I created a vision board for my sales, right? So Jackie sells. And then what I did is I actually cut out pictures of my clients, like who my clients are. And I actually, I named them. I named all of my clients, right? So these are all of like my pretend clients. So I named all of my clients and I gave them a face. So when I am on the phone or I am prospecting, I know who I'm talking to because I've already identified who they are and then what they mean to me and how I can help them. So this is just one thing that I do. So hopefully that helps somebody that's out there. All right, cool. And then the one, let's see, the vision board that I created last night, this one is the vision board. Can you guys see it? Hopefully I'm like lopsided. I don't even know. I don't know. All right, there it is. So this one is the vision board that I created for my book. Okay. So the book is called You Can Love God and Drive a Bentley. And I actually wrote a little ditty right here. I wrote a song for it. Yes, yes. It comes with a soundtrack. Oh my God. It comes with its own theme song. All right. So what is this book all about? A lot of people are asking me. Well, I'm a believer and I'm a kingdom believer. I'm a Christian woman. Okay. So what I have noticed, even in my own journey as a Christian woman, there was a lot of misconceptions, misunderstandings that I had about wealth and about prosperity. I would even ask questions like, does God even want me to have money? And if he does want me to have money, why am I struggling so hard to get it? You know, like this doesn't make any sense to me, right? So I went on a quest. I mean, seriously, a real deep dive into my studies, my spiritual studies. And I sought out the counsel of many different spiritual leaders. And I came to the conclusion, biblically, it was written that we are supposed to be prosperous. I mean, God's promises says that we're supposed to be. Now, you do have to do the work to tap into that. So there's many people that may or may not have that belief or, you know, that system in their minds of how they operate, which is fine. But my book, for those who are kingdom believers and Christians that struggle with making money and being wealthy and just trying to understand their place in that process, I went ahead and identified biblical scriptures that can really clarify whether you're supposed to be rich or not, right? So that's what my book is. A lot of people think that, you know, if you're a Christian, like if you know, are impoverished or, you know, you have lack or scarcity in your life, then that's what God, you know, has for you. And that's actually not true. That's a mistruth. And that's what my book clarifies. So it's pretty dope. Comes out in a few weeks, few months, I guess, you know. Nah, I'm tripping. It comes out in April. All right. So April 2019, the book will be launched and working on some things about getting that song recorded. I don't even sing. Wrote a song. Want to hear it? Here it go. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not supposed to be singing on live. I won't do it. I won't do it. So Charnay says, vision boards are so useful to create for specific concepts is so good. So yes, I got that from my coach, Dr. Sasha Pierce, life coach to women. I'm in her 24K success mastery. So we mastermind all the time. And that was one of the recommendations that she made so I could get more clarity in my goals and what I wanted to accomplish. So I made sure that I was mindful of that advice and I took it, and that's it. So Charnay says, come on, soundtrack. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about platinum, quadruple platinum hits right here, Dave. We'll definitely see. I'm looking forward to it. I might as well. I should probably make a platinum record vision board. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Make a platinum record vision board to go along with my goals. Pretty dope. Well, it's been awesome. You guys are, let me see, any likes, shares, comments, any more love? You guys are showing some love. It looks like I got an angry face. I got an angry face and I got like a tear, but you know what? You can't make everybody happy, so it's okay. I get my fair share of feedback from people who may or may not like me or whatever, you know, their situation, their disposition is, which is okay. But I'm loving on everybody no matter what. Whether you like me or you don't like me, guess what? You can't stop the shine and you can't stop me from loving on you no matter what. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. You don't have to like me, but I love you. Oh, well, let's see. I don't got any more questions. No more questions, you guys. OMG. You guys are so quiet now. Either that or you guys like logged off and I'm talking to myself. It's all good. Anyway, don't forget to share, to like, to comment, all of that cool stuff. And drop a comment, send me a DM, a direct message. I'm always available to answer your questions. Anybody has any questions about the boot camp, when is it, where is it, how much is it, like all of that stuff, you can send me a boot camp, a DM about it, and I'll be happy to answer your question. It's Christine Baker and I are going to be hosting it, and it's just going to be a great, amazing event. So we look forward to seeing you guys there, whoever is available to be there. And if you can't make it, then you got to make it to like one of our other city tour stops, because we're going to be taking a tour across the country this year and going to multiple different cities and teaching real estate investing strategies. So it's going to be super, super amazing and dope. Anyway, thanks, guys. Talk to you all soon. Bye.